Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back after lunch, and congratulations to all of the fellows. I was standing in the back, and I think that the applause was just as loud for those fellows as it was for John Legend this morning. I don't know about you, but I texted pictures to my kids right away, and today I'm the cool mom. I'm sure you sent yours home as well. I'm Carolyn Cawley, and I'm president of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. I'm a little shorter, I guess, than people who've been here before today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the broader foundation and who we are and what we think and what we believe in. At the foundation, our mission is to educate the public on how business does well, does good, and prepares for the future. And so what that means in one sense is that we come to work every day thinking about the velocity of change going on around us, and it just seems like it's getting faster and faster, and that treadmill and speed is gaining momentum all the time. And we come in thinking that one sure thing through all of that is that business is part of the solution, and that we can be part of the solution. And so it's so wonderful to be here with you today. I think that you'll join me in acknowledging one thing that we really believe, one of those through lines, is that job creators are heroes. And it really means something to start a business and grow a business and hire someone and employ someone. And good things happen for families and communities when that happens. And the fact is, and I'll quote our CEO, Tom Donahue, is that we're living now in this terrible conundrum between what he calls people without jobs and jobs without people. And it's a nice, crisp way of talking about the challenge that TPM is seeking to address. But here at the Chamber, we represent 3 million members, big, medium, small, across industries, across geographies. And what we hear from people and owners and managers, CEOs every day is that I have jobs I can't fill. And you are living that every day. You know that better than those of us working mostly in this building. But that's what's driving the Talent Pipeline Management Initiative, and we couldn't do it without all of you. And I know that Jason went through a little bit of the history, but it's just so exciting year after year to be back in this room with you. But we're now ready for the next step, to take TPM, excuse me, to the next level. A new initiative that we're calling TPM Next. We're so pleased to announce it today. It's a partnership that we're doing with the Association of Supply Chain Management, real professionals in that field. And it's so important because it's recognition that this idea, as Jason said, that went from metaphor to gaining movement is being validated by people who have been practicing supply chain management principles for, decades. I don't know how old your organization is, nearly a century probably. Lots of professional credentials and licensing and lots of ways to prove that supply chain management principles can work in human talent. But what makes TPM different, and this is the part that I love about my job, is that it's human and it's about heart and lives and jobs and opportunities and the good things that come to communities when people are employed, the good things that come when employers have better, more skilled employees coming in, and when employees and workers have better pathways. It's just, when those things come together, it's a really great thing. So we've got a wonderful partner in ASCM, and I'll turn it over in a minute to Abe Eshkenazi to tell you a little bit more about his organization and how it really blends in with TPM. But I want to leave you with one last line. I'm going to quote another colleague of ours, actually my boss. She has a wonderful way of saying what success can look like, and that is that for so many people, some of the most beautiful words they'll ever hear are, "You got the job." And we think that's just a really nice way of saying it. It's a great sentiment, and it's really driving what we're doing behind the curriculum and behind the credentials and behind the academies. I think it's a shared sense of purpose that jobs are great, and we really want to help people have more of them. So thank you very much. I'll turn it over to Abe. Thank you.
Thanks, Carolyn, and thank you all for coming here today, because this is important for us in a lot of different respects. If you ask any employer in the world what their number one asset is, I'm hopeful that they will continue to tell you employees are their number one asset. The challenge that we have collectively, not only from the employer side, but from the academic as well as the association side, is where are those employees coming from? Number one, awareness. Are there and is there enough awareness of the opportunities that exist for the jobs in particular regions across the globe? And so our role as an organization is to work with companies in helping them design their supply chains. And that is where they source, where they manufacture, where they deliver, where they support across the globe. Obviously, that takes employees. And each of those functions within an organization has to be developed not only at a professional level, but at a recognition level for the contribution that they make to their organizations. So part of our role in helping organizations design their supply chains is identifying where are the resources, specifically the people, going to come from to sustain the success the organization has. And when we talk about sustainability, it comes in a lot of different dimensions, and it comes in a lot of different respects, from economic to ecological to ethical sustainability of an organization, and that takes people. So most of the clients that we work with are large multinationals that have disparate manufacturing and facilities all across the globe, and they're looking for consistency across their organization, not only in terms of their operations, but in terms of the knowledge management that they have within their organization. So when we assess a particular job function, we're taking a look at it from really the beginning, and that is from the K through 12 system. What are the competencies, what are the capabilities that individuals are gaining at that level, and then how do they matriculate up into a community college or a four-year institution or go directly into the workforce? Specifically, what are the skills necessary? So we work with employers to identify those skills, we codify them, develop them into learning programs. TPM is a great example of a codified body of knowledge that can be applied to not only employers but employees and the workforce collectively to identify what are the skills necessary for individuals not only to get a job but to keep a job and have a rewarding career opportunity for themselves. Getting a job is the first step. Obviously, employers are looking for academic institutions, specifically colleges and or community colleges or other resources for foundational knowledge. What we're seeing is that there's a significant gap between what employers are looking for and the competency and the capabilities that employees have when they get on the job. That the schools are not teaching the skills necessary for employees to be job ready. And this is where TPM and organizations such as APICS or ASCM can fill that void. But it's a public-private partnership. It cannot work without the employers communicating back to the academic institutions as well as the associations the skills necessary for these organizations and these individuals to be successful. So not only awareness, but the second step is recognition of the contribution that the individuals make to their organization. So first, getting a job is key. Second is recognizing them for the work and the contribution they make to their organization. But there's a gap in terms of the competencies that the individuals have when they get into a job function and what the employer is looking for. And this is where TPM can play a significant role to bridge the gap between what employers are looking for and the competencies employees have, and more importantly, to connect the employee to a rewarding career. And we talked a little bit before, as Steve shared a great opportunity on career paths. Having an individual get a job is important. More important is having them see that there's a career opportunity for them to continue and sustain that job for a long period of time, that it's not a short-term opportunity for them. And this is where we believe that TPM can make a significant difference for the employees and, more importantly, for the employers that are looking for job-ready and capable individuals. We're really excited about this partnership because it does move TPM to the next level and address a significant market gap. So we're trying to find an opportunity, we're trying to fill the opportunity between finding the employees that are capable and ready, and not only for a job, but more importantly for a career. And we believe this is where TPM can make a significant difference, not only for the economy, but for each of the companies that participate with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abe. So you'll all be hearing a lot more about TPM next in the months and weeks to come. We look forward to taking TPM online. We'll be exploring credentialing people who've been trained in the approaches and the methods, and it's just really taking things to a whole new level. So thank you for being part of it. Before I go, I wanted to just bookend some things that, that Jason talked about in his introduction and his history of TPM. And for those of you who've been with us for a few years, just think back for a minute to this room 5 years ago when TPM was an idea and a paper and a couple of pilots, a handful of 7 pilots. 3 years ago, we were in this room, and we were talking about how to grow from the original 7 states to the 29 that we are in today. 2 years ago, we were in this room talking about how to grow beyond 100 partners. And today, we've got more than 250 partners involved, which is just tremendous. And I remember that last year, we were in this room talking about how to grow beyond the US. And as you know, today we're in Canada, and we're getting a ton of inbound inquiries from people in Europe as well. So I just want you all to be proud of the last 5 years of building this together, and I really can't wait to see what we're going to be talking about next year at this time. And the last thing I want to do is, I know that you'll join me in a big round of applause for Cheryl and Jason and Jamie and their leadership in building this and taking it forward. So thank you all. Thank you very much.